Hi, welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me for another pick a card reading today. Today we will ask Spirit, what messages do you need to hear right now? I have, today I will use my Vision Quest Tarot deck and also the Wild Unknown Archetypes. So I'll pick 3 cards from the tarot deck and then 1 oracle card. And so I have pre-shuffled these cards already, but what I will do is do a quick shuffle and lay them out into 3 piles. Have you choose, and then we'll begin the reading. So let's go ahead and begin. And we'll do a quick shuffle of the tarot cards. All right, and we'll lay them into 3 piles. Is that 3? That's 2. Top it off with 1 oracle card per pile, and then we'll get into the messages. All right, so, and I'm sorry I haven't been checking to see if you can actually see any of this. I'm gonna off my crystal. It's my amethyst crystal. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the messages. What message do you need to hear today? We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with pile number 1. Let's look at your cards. All right, so we have Death. In this deck, it's called Transformation. We have the 9 of Earth, 9 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Water. In this deck, it's, well, this is the 9 of Cups, and in this deck, it's called Joy. And we also have your oracle card is the Offering. So, with the oracle cards, I don't have all of the meanings memorized yet. Let me see. So we need to find a message that corresponds. Is it the Offering? Oh, there it is, page 193. All right, message is, unlike many of the other cards in the deck, the Offering carries a clear as day message and a call to action. As you may have guessed, it is time for something to be given and given up, for the sake of the bigger picture. If nothing comes to mind immediately, though it's likely it will, take time in meditation to consider what must be offered and who is to receive it. It's likely you'll feel attachment and hesitancy. you'll make excuses. But recognize the link between the word sacrifice and the word sacred. One leads to the other. When we offer up something to the greater good, we lighten our load and become more able to serve. Imagine for a moment if you were to offer your whole self unconditionally to the world. For now, start small. So underneath, there's all these other messages that are kind of here on the side, so I'll go over those. It says the gift, the present, and the sacrifice. And this message on this side says, if there is a gift you've been thinking of giving someone special, now is the time. And on the side, once a week, Gandhi gave up speaking for a day, offering himself to divine silence. The offering can come in all shapes and sizes. And down at the bottom we have when this card is light, generosity, donation, volunteering. When dark, giving with expectations, keeping track, and to go deeper, Odin's sacrifice of his eye in Norse mythology. Alright, so that's the message from the Oracle card. Now, let's get into the meaning of the reading as it ties together. So I think that you have possibly experienced an ending of some sort, as signified with the Death card. So something has ended, a cycle has ended, something has changed, and it's left you possibly where you were a team before or part of a group before. You're now in a state of solidarity. You are in a state of abundance, however. So although you did undergo change of some sort, a transformation, you're doing good. You're actually in a good spot. You are abundant. You possibly still have your, most likely your finances are intact. I don't want to say that they aren't, because they definitely are. The Nine of Pentacles is that card of material abundance. So whatever's happened, it didn't affect or rock your finances or the assets that you have behind you. Assets could be anything of a material nature. So it could even be maybe your degree. It could be money, of course. It could be a house. It could be land. So whatever your assets were in this situation, you are still very well off and you're doing good. There is soon something will come your way, and it will be a fulfillment of your wishes. So something that you have hoped for a long time. You have the Nine of Water here, and this is basically the wish card. So it's indicating that you will have in your future a wish granted, or something that you had hoped for come true. So it could possibly be, and I'm just doing this off of intuition, but maybe a job offer. It could be an offer in love, so possibly a new partnership will come along. It could be a business partnership. It could be that your move from one location to the other goes smoothly. Anything that you've been really hoping for and needing almost to happen, it's looking positive in your future. So, and the way that I see this card, this oracle card, is fitting within the reading, if we think about the message that we received, it did talk of a change and a transformation and needing to let things go, to make room for the new and new blessings, and letting things go for the greater good. So although you may have lost something that was important to you, and something that offered you a sense of stability, things really did and will work out in your favor in the long run. So you still do have wish fulfillment up ahead. Keep positive, keep going, and know that everything is looking good for you. So that's the message I have for reading 1. Let's move on to reading number 2. Okay, so we have reading number 2. You have the 5 of Earth. Always try to find the perfect spot for these cards to show. This is the 5 of Pentacles in the regular tarot, and on this card it says insecurity. And this card is Major Arcana. It's number 11, Life Force. Okay, sorry about that. I had a visitor come. So, number 11, this is Life Force. This is the Justice card in the regular tarot. And then we have the 8 of Fire. It says Insight, and this is the 8 of Wands. And the oracle card that you got was, or is, the Orphan. So let's go ahead and read the message to that. Okay, and it says, to study, the orphan is to study the deep and challenging energy of our time. We are ever more connected, yet face collective isolation. The refugee crisis haunts our planet. Children are separated from parents, and the earth begs for our attention. We are in a time of universal orphanage, of nature, of each other, of our own hearts. Take refuge in the fact that we all share this core wound and dilemma. It is normal to fear this card, as it haunts the caverns of the soul. When it appears, take time, real time, to be in the presence of the feelings this card stirs in you. Let it humble you. What are you starving for? What is the deepest gift you could imagine giving to others? What has been rejected is quite possibly what is the most needed, dear one. So the words, the wounded child, the abandoned, the beggar, and tenderness beyond tenderness is required. I imagine holding yourself in your hands to recognize that each one of us fears rejection and isolation is to take one step toward the orphan. More kindness always. Then we have access this archetype through creative acts like drawing, painting, or writing. Keep it simple. Ask the orphan what it wants to draw. Make, say. Then we have when light, deep solace, deep acceptance, deep love. When dark, distanced, hates and avoids, controlling, limiting. Go deeper, Mary Oliver's The Kitten. So that's the oracle card message. Now, I believe here, definitely somebody feels abandoned, as shown here with the Five of Pentacles, and it sounds like with the oracle card message, it basically is corresponding to the meaning of that Five of Pentacles. But somebody does feel abandoned. Quite possibly it could be you. It could be someone in your surroundings. But there's a sense of feeling that there was a loss. There's a sense of feeling the need or want, desire for justice, for things to return to balance. And quite possibly they have. Perhaps the feeling of abandonment or the feeling of lack possibly may be subsiding at this point. So if that is the case, then things are beginning to be or appear that they could become more balanced, more fair. And I feel that there will be quick movement, rapid movement, progression in the situation. Definitely, if you look at the picture on this Eight of Wands card, it's got the sun, and it does kind of gives a picture of kind of like hope. It looks peaceful. It definitely looks like somewhere that I'd like to go and visit and maybe do some meditation and really do some clearing. It looks like a peaceful place to be. And even so, this Justice card here in the center, as things are returning more to balance, the person in the card looks like he's really enjoying life right now. He's happy. He has his arms raised in the air, and he's looking forward to what is to come next. So, and it's actually in contrast to the Five of Pentacles there on the left-hand side, which shows a picture which is more gloomy than the two over here on the side. So there definitely is and will be brighter times in the future, and you may be starting to see that now. I do like this card here with the red rose at the bottom, or the flower. Not sure that that's a rose, but it shows the color, the beautiful part of the picture. It gives a sense of hope. That hope is not all lost. So I do think that things will be changing for you pretty quickly. And once they do, you will definitely feel that sense of peace and hope, and feel that things are more balanced out for you. So this is what I have for reading number 2. let's go ahead and move on to reading number 3. And this is for reading number 3. We have the small medicine wheel. It is the Wheel of Fortune in the regular tarot deck. Then we have 5 of Air, which is the 5 of Swords. It says Fear. And the Ace of Earth, which is the Ace of Pentacles in the regular tarot. And finally, we have your oracle card, which is Anima Mundi. I think it's how you say it. Anima Mundi or Mundi. So let's go ahead and read the message for that. Anima Mundi, or Mundi. I don't know if you can see that, I'm sorry. Alright, Anima Mundi epitomizes the principle, accept all, reject none. Simply put, it is the living soul of the world in all its multifaceted, multidimensional layers, bonded together by loving cosmic forces. Diversity is celebrated, multiplicity is honored, and nothing is denied. Embrace. Constructs of separation dissipate into the wonderful mess of shared consciousness. Anima Mundi is the link between the literal and the imaginal, the rational and the mythic. It is the connective fiber that makes life meaningful. This card indicates an initiation on the level of the soul. You will awaken the unique light within and witness how this light contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. You will sense yourself as a critical note in the cosmos, or in the cosmic orchestra. Destiny is altered as you hear the enchanted melody of all living things. So the keywords up here, the soul of the world, all that is. And I've been reading the little captions here on the side. Anima Mundi is the energy behind the world card in the tarot deck. Both carry themes of universal unity, completeness, and embrace. And the embrace of Anima Mundi is available anytime, anywhere, to anyone, day or night, rich or poor. It is a process of unveiling our resistance to its love. Then down at the bottom, we have when light, tending to the sacred details of life, when dark, overwhelmed by the bigness of existence. Go deeper, alchemical drawings of Anima Mundi, the life and paintings of Hilma of Clint. All right. So, to tie this all together, I feel that you have experienced some changes, as indicated by the Wheel of Fortune. So something has definitely changed. It could be something that was meant to happen, or something that you had no control over. It could have been something that somebody else made a decision about, which which did impact you, and which you had really no control in how things unfolded after that. So something happened, a circumstance changed. It may have been destined to happen. Something destined to happen or divinely inspired. But definitely with this change, it was, because it was divinely inspired, things were changed in a way that helped you manage and get through the change. So you definitely had divine assistance getting through whatever happened. And it may not have been something that was all that happy. We do have the 5 of Air here. And this card can be sometimes a very hurtful card. It can be a card of arguments and winning at all costs. It can be a card of great hurt. We do have here down at the bottom of the card, the word on the card is fear. So whatever happened made you fearful, potentially. It could have been something another party did out of fear. But generally this card pops up when there's been some sort of conflict and change. And usually this conflict and change wasn't the most, happy of changes. So it might have been forced upon you. It might have been something that was really hurtful to you. Nonetheless, things did change, and it is followed by the Ace of Pentacles here on the end, which is really beautiful. So whether or not the Ace of Pentacles has shown up in your life yet, perhaps you're still stuck in this 5 of Swords energy, but things are still unfolding, things are still changing, things are changing for the better. So we do have, with the Ace of Pentacles, a brand new beginning. We have a seed planted and start a new cycle. And it can even be seen as a divine gift, a gift that is given to you to help rebuild, which I think does go along great with the Oracle card here, and Anima Mundi, and I hope I'm saying that right. It could be Mundi. I really need to look up the correct saying of the word, but it does definitely coincide with a close of a chapter. The guidebook mentioned that it had the energy of the World card in the regular tarot, so it definitely was the closing of maybe a very painful and hurtful chapter, but you learned your lessons through it. You grew. You're now able to look back and reflect on what happened, possibly why it happened, what you learned from it, how you can do better next time. So whatever the circumstance was, you did learn many things from it, and it was only one chapter in your story, or many, but it was the end of that cycle. And you have a new beginning here, and it's up to you to decide what you're going to do with this new beginning and this new opportunity, to start over. It's up to you what you will make of this new start and what is to come in the next chapter. So if you are still stuck in this 5 of air, the changes may have happened really quick. It may have been very sudden. But know that things, as time goes by, you will ultimately come to a place where you are able to look at the past and be grateful for the lessons. It might not seem that way right now, but you will come out in a better situation, or you will come out on top in the end. So that concludes our message for reading number 3, and it also concludes our reading for today. I thank you so much for joining me, and hope that you'll join me next time for another pick a card reading, and ask that you please like, share, and subscribe. And thanks again for joining me.